Morning. Let's get started. It is FOMC day today, so that's going to be interesting to say the least. I'm definitely not going to be jumping to enter anything today, with it being FOMC. But if a really solid setup does show itself, then I will take it. But definitely going to be on the caution side of things today. And then tomorrow and Friday, back to normal. It's just FOMC, obviously. The thing I like about the volume approach to things is, instead of the ICT view where it's like, the algorithm will stop being so accurate or whatever before a big event like FOMC, the volume profile approach is much more simple. It's just like, well, before a big news event like FOMC, institutional participation will decrease, therefore volume will drop. That is kind of the same reason as to why ICT's reasoning for why FOMC and all like things like that is basically kind of the same as the volume reason. It's just like gives it a different context, if that makes sense. Gives it a different story. But the main thing is that the volume is obviously going to drop off, so the volume levels most likely will become a little bit less impactful. But like I said, if I see a solid enough trade setup, that bitch is getting taken. No two ways about it. Anyway, how are all you boys? Oh, let's get a developing profile on here. I am oh shit. I am caffeinated and ready to go. So you're probably going to get a talkative Brad today. Talkative guy. Ah shit, I forgot to grab a bottle of water. I'm gonna grab a bottle of water real quick. Morning, Starscream. literally had a coffee like right before I started the stream today. I don't normally drink coffee until like after 2 p.m, but I just wanted a coffee, to be honest. I also recorded a Lucid video earlier today, so after this stream I'm gonna get on my editing shit and make that video beautiful. So hopefully that'll get posted tomorrow or Friday. I'll probably try and get it posted tomorrow, to be honest. See how much editing it needs. It was quite a long rant. I feel like I was waffling for I think I've got probably like 30 minutes of footage to actually condense down into a video that will probably only be like 8 to 10 minutes long. So when you see however long the video that I'm going to put out next on Lucid, just know that there was 30 minutes of actual raw footage. That's how many times I fuck up what I'm saying. Honestly, the amount of times that if I could show you the amount of times that I fuck up what I'm saying and like just mumble and stumble over my words, it's actually hilarious. Compared to the like finished, polished result, editing's a crazy thing. Why is one of my friends just fucking text me and said, "What's your predictions for the rates?" I don't predict the rates, James. Hope he's watching the stream. I predict that the rates will get released and the market will have a reaction. There you go. Is this the first FOMC we've had since since the government shut down? Does anyone know? I feel like it might be, but also probably isn't. I feel like we might have had one. I don't know actually, now I'm thinking about it. Maybe it is the first one since we've still not had an NFP. The NFPs are like next week on a Tuesday, which is weird. Oh wait, no, I think we did have NFP actually. We did have NFP fairly soon after the government reopened. But it wasn't very impactful from what I remember. And then we have a really weird one, which I'm guessing is just kind of like the catch-up one, which is in the middle of December. Breaking down off the previous day's value rail low here. Got that CVD up. What do I want to do here? I mean, I've still got 6.5 minutes of volume to develop. We're putting in a little bit of a node just below the previous week. Has anyone got, I know that Cami, for the people here in the school group, I know that Cami, I'm pretty sure, says, like, just don't touch FOMC at all on FOMC day. Or maybe that is just for the PM session, but either way, you can definitely still extend that caution through basically the entire day. I would say London's probably not so bad, but by the time we get to the New York Open, definitely a big caution sign on the session. I think Cami, yeah, it makes sense that Cami just wouldn't trade the actual PM session of FOMC at all. Does he even trade the PM session now, actually? With it being him being in Australia. I can't remember how tradable. No, I think the PM session, yeah, the PM session in Australia is like the middle of the night. Or is it very early morning? I want to say it's the middle of the night. I'm trying to think back to when I was in Australia. I would stay up like, it also depends, he's in Queensland, which makes it a little bit easier. Because when I was in Queensland, I was trading the New York AM session still. At least a bit of it. Tell you what though, I do have a fucking headache today. I thought it was a caffeine-induced headache, but clearly not, because... or a lack of caffeine-induced headache. I think I'm just like sensitive to light or something today, which is great because I'm now going to sit and stare at charts for the better part of 2 hours. Not really any shelves built up here. So, at the moment, nothing really to do. I will actually potentially call this stream a little early, like 11 maybe, if I'm still going by 11. One, because of this fucking headache that I've got, and two, that means I can go away and edit the video a bit sooner. And with it being FOMC, I don't see the point to push the session hour all the way to 11:30, because ultimately the closer we get to 2 o'clock in New York time, the more the volume's going to drop off, the less accurate or the less reliable the volume levels are likely to be. I'm going to take a peek at Delta here. I want to see if we break the high of day, I want to see if Delta confirms it or not. Might get a little exhaustion divergence here, maybe, we'll see. Doesn't really look like it's going to. It looks like it's probably going to confirm the high if we break it. But... oh yeah, I made a little... my handwriting is terrible, but I did put it in the school group and also on my... I'll put it on a community post on my channel. A little CVD, cumulative volume delta checklist, for me to go over. Since yesterday... not really having a strict, like, this is how you use the delta, and this is how you don't use the delta. It fucked me up a little bit, to say the least. Could have caught a pretty nice long yesterday, and instead I rushed into a loss on the second trade of the day. The first trade of yesterday I was very happy with in my journaling. I wasn't so, like, terribly unhappy with the second trade yesterday, but the second trade, like, it definitely could have been passed on. Whereas the first trade, I feel like I was stupid not to take that trade, really. Just happened to be a loss. Such is life in the trading world. Okay, so actually we might get that divergence I was talking about, that exhaustion divergence here. In which case, like, a short, honestly, doesn't look terrible. A short from previous day's value area low with stacked levels. Honestly, I actually would take that. 3.5. Ah, shit, this is on... why are you... where the fuck? Where are my templates? Where's the $150 risk? Do I not have that template for this? Oh, I don't. Wow. 6. Ah, shit, I'm too late anyway. You know what? Yeah. So I'm going to put 6 in at those highs. See if I can get filled on that. What are those highs? 51. Let's try and get 6 in there. Ah, never mind, point of control shifted up. Cancel that. Yeah, I'm not going to be trying to do that anymore with the point of control being there. I don't know, it could definitely fade overnight value area high, right? That's not terrible, actually. Delta is coming lower. Yeah, I will do that actually, then. I will do that. So that's what? 51.75? That way it's the best of both worlds. I'm getting filled up there, so I can definitely still get a nice rotation back down to POC. I'll just keep my eye on the delta. Like I say, if we break that high, it doesn't look like delta is also going to break it at the same time. With where the delta is right now. At the minute, we're actually breaking lower on delta. We're below the most recent low, which is absorption. I've got it written down here somewhere. No, I don't. I have the exhaustion one. Yeah, that is absorption though, of sellers, I believe. I also don't really mind the fact that there's no node up there, obviously, because I'm playing a rotational play, so I don't really need a node. I just need a lack of volume, really. And I have stack levels. Previous day value area low and overnight value area high being the main ones, since they're the ones that are like the closest to my entry. Previous week's POC is basically like, I mean, it's there, but it's not really behind the thought process of this trade, if I'm being honest. And we've also reacted once off of previous day's value area low, so if we can spike above that and tap into the overnight value area high, solid fade for me, back down to the POC. I would like to enter on previous day's value area low. I want a minimum 5-point stop, so to allow myself to get a nice enough, comfortable enough stop, I want to be and be out by POC. I have to get in where I am trying to. Delta is still breaking lower, so that's good for me if we can fill me. We have some sellers coming into the market. Ugh. So that would be an exhaustion divergence at the highs. If price breaks these highs and delta doesn't, which it looks like it's not going to, that would be an exhaustion divergence. So buyers are running out of steam basically as we approach these value levels, which is great for me. Because if buyers are running out of steam, that means sellers are probably gonna take back control and bring it back into the point of control, which is the exact reasoning for my trade setup here. I'm waffling a little bit. Let me shut up. Just kind of talking for the sake of talking. That's about 3 points away from my entry right now, give or take. Delta is still looking good. Yep, that looks fine. We're in that. Let's get that break-even line in there. Wow, that was a big difference between the micro and the mini. I got filled on the micro there. The mini didn't even get up there. You can see the micro above me. You know what, let me draw my line actually on the micro. That makes more sense really, doesn't it? To draw my break-even line on my top step X. Make sure it's like completely accurate. I don't want the value, really. Well, I do, I just want it on the right. Yeah, strong exhaustion divergence here at the high, so I'm in. What was that? The value area high of the current session just shifted up. It's a slow market today. How far away was that from break even? 1 point away from break even. Yeah, certainly not a bad night to be not trading, Professor Mac, so you can thank whoever arranged the Christmas party for today. Would be. I just clocked that if we do get this this trade play out from here, then we'll get a pretty nice little top tick trade. Even better of a top tick since it didn't even get filled on the mini, only on the micro. Getting ready to move to break even here. Just shy of break even, literally 1 tick shy. You know what I will do actually? I'll just do this. I always remember to do that just because that makes it an OCO, so I won't forget to cancel a limit order. Oh. No, don't go back up. My take profit is below you. God, this is a slow trade. Can someone tell ES that scalpers are meant to be in and out of positions faster than this? Don't come back up to my entry. Don't be a bitch. You got so close. This is calling for a fucking... I'm gonna knock my chair back. Ugh. That's what this is calling for. Maybe I should have had a tighter TP. Yeah, not really. ATR was about right, really. Delta's still, like, not backing the long side at all, really. I'm going to be annoyed if it goes into drawdown, because I would have got a top tick, and I would have been able to make a really cool short and say, like, oh, when you top tick with volume profile. But ES just had to go back into drawdown, the cheeky bastard. There we go. That would have been filled on the minis. Let's see if this wants to now react, since it's just tagged the overnight value area low on the mini contract. Like I said, Delta is still looking pretty solid, I would say. Still looking pretty exhausted. I feel like I'm trading fucking Asia session. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Been in this about 7 minutes now. Oh, that was a nice little bounce down. Come on, give me the break even now. You did your. We get it. ES. You just had to. You just hadn't to fuck up my awesome top tick short that I would have made off this trade. But you can just fill me at TP now. It's fine. I get it. No hard feelings, ES. I mean, it does kind of make sense, because the mini obviously didn't tag me. Ooh, you're a little bastard, yes. You're a little bastard. Not giving me that break even. Look at that. 2 teasers on the break even. This son of a bitch. 3, 2, 1, doom, go. Right, that's break even. I'm fucking Jesus Christ. That was the most painful trade ever. Come on. Oh, you ticked me. Come on, fill me. There we go. Order filled on that one, boys. Dub on the FOMC day. Solid trade, to be honest. Solid trade. Fading the upper end of the range with the value level. Delta was telling me that buyers were becoming exhausted. So sellers are likely to take control and bring price back into the point of control of the range. Nice little 150 bucks on the funded. Or funded, I should say. I was really annoyed that it didn't give me that right off from the top tick. But well. because that was funny how it filled me on the micro, but the mini actually wouldn't have got there until, well, what? That's when the micro filled me, so the mini actually only got there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes later. So if I had actually gotten filled when the mini filled, it would have been way easier of a trade. Would have been literally like 2 to 3, about 3-minute trade. Straight down to that POC, point of control. Yeah, dead happy with that. We'll see. I'm just gonna put the long position there as the actual trade. Even though micro filled me there, I'll remember to note that in my journal. We'll see if POC just shifted higher a little bit. This is more of a balanced POC here, so see what price wants to do here. I'm not going to take another position in this area. I am going to go for a wee dead quick, actually, so I'll be right back. Ugh. I don't know if I'll get another trade today, to be honest. I kind of think that's going to be like a sort of a one and done sort of session with FOMC looming. I don't really feel tempted. It's probably not the right word. I don't really feel the need to take another trade, really. Unless it looks really clean, we'll see. Delta is kind of just going flat, to be honest. It is moving a little bit up, but it's mainly just going flat. Oh, right as I said that, it woke up and realised it's actually supposed to move. Very range-bound day here. To be expected, really. I did think that today, with it being FOMC, or the AM session before FOMC, it's probably not going to be like a trending morning, really, is it? It's going to be more of a sideways sort of morning. So, really, when you think about it like that, rotational fades of the value area highs and the fades of the value area lows, staying inside of the range, inside value, they're probably going to be your most probable trades of the AM session. I mean, right there was another value area high fade from the overnight value area high, right there, down to the POC. But yeah, POC shifted a little bit higher, so you wouldn't be able to go for like a 5-5 there. It'd need to be like a 4-4 by the looks of it. Or even a 3.5, yeah, 3.5, 3.5. So like it would have worked out, obviously. It's whether you're okay with a stop that tight. It's a pretty small range day. Like the average true range is like 2.6. So. Have I taken a trade every day this week? Did I trade on Monday? I don't know. I don't think so. If I did, it was a break even. It wasn't a win or a loss. I traded Tuesday, and that was, well, yesterday. That was the 2-loss day. I can't remember. Let me go on my channel and see. Break even was on Monday. Oh yeah, it was the break even that was like from previous week's value area high. That was the day that I had a really solid read, but it's just such an unfortunate break even. Literally, yeah, it was that trade where if my stop loss was a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller, either way, I would have won that trade because I wouldn't have moved to break even when I did. But yeah, that was a really solid read. I literally counted that trade like as a win in my mind. Obviously not like on my actual statistics or whatever in my journal, it was a break even, but in my mind that was a win just because it was such a good read. Just really unfortunate. But yes, we have had a trade every day this week so far, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, as opposed to last week. I think we only had 2 trading days last week. We had a winning day and a break even day last week. So, actually, the only losses that I've taken on stream in the past, let's say, week and a half, were yesterday. Everything else has been either a win or a break even. Pretty solid trading. It's like, what, out of 5 trading days, 1 losing day. 1 losing day, 2 break even days, but that, like we said, one of those break even days was a well-deserved win, and 2 winning days, I think. Yeah, we've had 1 like big winning day, and then today will make the 2nd winning day, I believe. I think so, yeah. I think I'm right in saying that. I have made a playlist for all like my there's a playlist for my prop firm content, just because it makes sense to have a playlist for my prop firm stuff. Because some people might come to my channel and they don't care about me or volume profile, they just want to know, hey Brad, what accounts should I be spending my money on? And more importantly, what code should I be using, am I right? But yeah, so I have a playlist for just prop firm stuff. Also, my prop firm stuff is just like the best performing videos that I do, which makes sense, obviously. It's a bigger audience than the niche like strategy specific stuff. It's also good to see a fair few boys in the well, not in the chat today at least. Not many people are feeling chatty today, but I can see that there's a fair few people of you watching, so I do appreciate you, even if you don't want to talk to me. I'll talk to myself. It's fine. What do you think I do most of the day? Yeah, we seem to have amassed a small but consistent audience, and for that I am grateful. As long as you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, then don't leave, please. But I was gonna say then leave, but I can't afford you to leave. In a meeting, but with you in spirit, hell yeah. You owe me no excuse, or no, that's not the right phrase. You owe me no reason, Mr. Wiz. Can I count that as a top tick? Did that actually tick? Yeah, it did tick one higher. I'm counting that trade as a top tick. I don't care what you boys say. I don't care what anyone says. That's a top tick trade. I'm counting it. Seems like we are just staying in this range. I would bet that we aren't going to break the upper end of this range, really. If we're going to break at all, we're probably going to break to the downside. But we could also just stay in the range. The only thing I don't happen here is a break to the upside, which is perfectly okay if it does happen, because it's just my opinion. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. And I'm not putting any money on it, on that fact, so... Simply an observation. Kind of just because the way the delta's moving, it doesn't look very breakout to the upside-ish. Saying that, it doesn't look very breakout to the downside-ish either. It just looks kind of flat, which would make me think that we're gonna stay in this range. It's also FMC AM session, so like, come on. If you're expecting a trending, if you're expecting, like, imagine someone first came to the AM session today and they didn't realize that ES was, or they didn't realize that FOMC was this afternoon. They'd be like, I've fucking heard so many good things about the AM session. Like, it trends and it's the session where all the moves happen, but it's just fucking moving sideways. What's going on? Is NQ doing any different? Oh god, NQ looks even more sideways. Again, these ignore my value levels on NQ, they're out of date. We'll see if we just kind of bounce around POC here. Or we break. I would guess that we'll wave. If it looks like this at like 10:45 still, so for another 15 minutes, I'll go ahead and call it a day here. Like I say, the longer we get into this session, the less likely I am to take a trade, because the closer we get to FOMC. That trade was ideal, because it was literally in the first, what, 10... Well, I mean, I entered here, so it was literally in the first, like, 5 to 10 minutes of my window. So I couldn't have really asked for much more of a solid setup on FOMC on the sorry, it's because I recorded a video before this. Fucking words are all over the place. On the morning of FOMC. Ugh. What should I have for tea tonight? I feel like a steak dinner. My girlfriend made me a carbonara, or made us a carbonara like last week. I've never had carbonara before, but I'm a fan. And when I told my mum about that, she says that makes sense because I have a bland palate, which I took offence to. But I mean, she is right. I do have a bland palate. I'm the type of guy to order margarita pizza every time I order a Domino's. That's a lie. I sometimes get pepperoni, alright? I have a bit of edge to me. Not just a margarita type of guy. I do have the same... How common is this, do you reckon? I have the same, literally the same breakfast every morning. At least when I'm at home. But even when I go away, to be honest, like I get into a routine, especially with my diet. I have the same thing for breakfast and the same thing for lunch, like basically every day. And then the only thing that changes is like my dinner in the evening, but even that has like a rotation of like 3 to 4 different things. I'm thinking actually about a long from the overnight point of control here. It doesn't look too bad, really. You have a high volume node. You have the current session value area low. Delta looks good for it. I'm gonna try that. I am gonna dial a risk back so that I don't go break even on the day. I'll just go like $50 a risk, let's say. And let's go for like a 4-point trade there. So that's even less than $50 if I go for two micros there. Oh wait, no. 43. $43.39. There you go. Yeah, I like that. High volume node. This is a big point of control, so it's probably going to promote, well, rotation back up to it, like before. And this is the bottom end of value here. Delta looks good. Delta looks exhausting again, to the downside. So we'll see if we can catch that, and then we have overnight point of control as like a value level, reinforced value level. Not going for not going for 5 to 5 here, going for 4 to 4 since I'm behind this node here, which is good enough for me. And like I say, I mean the average true range has dropped since the last trade as well, so 4 points to stop is more than reasonable here, I would say. I'm getting out before point of control here as well, so even better. See if we can get filled on this. This will be the last trade of the day, win or lose. Try and poke a little bit more profit out of the day, or take a little bit of a loss. I think how much risk will this put me on? I need to log into paper trading. It's like 2.5, so like the quantity. So if it'll put me about $40 risk. So if I lose this, I finish the day still $110 up roughly. If I win it, then I'm up about 190. Filled on that. 46.75 is the target. Yeah, $37. Sorry, not 40. Is that right? That doesn't seem right, actually. That's not right. Where's this gone? Might just melt through. 47. No, that's wrong again. 47. Oh. Fucking hell, I'm fumbling about with this one. Looks like we might just blow through. We'll see. It could bounce off the overnight value area low, but I've chose to go for the overnight point of control since we have this node here. But oh shit, that was yeah, well, I'm definitely getting stopped here. Most likely. I mean, that was overnight value area low. But yeah, we had this node here, so that was my reason for electing to and the current session value area low is here. That's why I elected to long from there instead of like down here, because there's not much of a node here really, is there? And I would then have to be like, if I was longing here, I'd be longing into this node, which isn't really what I want to be doing. So I got the logical entry point there, in my opinion. Would have preferred if this overnight point of control was the overnight value area low, and that would have made it a little bit better, but still, like, not much better. I still would have taken it either way, really. Delta is still flat here, so this is actually still looking good. It's just quite heavily in drawdown, obviously, so likelihood is I'm getting stopped, but we can pray and hope. We're at that point in the trade. The pray and hope point of the trade. Yeah, stopped, okay. No worries on that. That still puts me $110? $104 on the day. When you factor in all the fees and stuff. Yeah, I'm not mad at that trade, really, to be honest. Risk was dialed back quite significantly. So wow, we really are popping down. Price has not been able to get back into value from yesterday on NQ&ES. My chart enticed longs for sure though. Yeah, I do think that was solid long there. But yeah, you are true in the fact that we haven't got into yesterday's value. ES came up to it. Previous day's value very low. Really, that could have been seen as like, oh, we came up to the bottom end of yesterday's value and rejected, therefore lower prices most likely. But considering it's FOMC's, if it's an FOMC later today, I would have assumed that we just kind of stay in the range. So yeah, not terrible, not terrible trade. Like I said, this node was here as well, so. Still up $105 on the day. It'd be interesting to see what this looks like tomorrow after FOMC, or even later on. Yeah, Delta was looking solid for most of that. 36. Yeah, Delta didn't break this low. Delta didn't break this low until here. This is when Delta broke this low. So that was the Delta reasoning. Yeah, I'm going to leave that there for today, boys. That was a solid FOMC day, really. Recovered half the loss from yesterday. 1 win, 2 losses. And yeah, not really much more to be said. Very happy with that first one, that first trade. Second trade I do think was valid, just unfortunate. Blew through it. Decided that it didn't want to rotate for the rest of the day. Which is fair. I can respect that, yes. I still made money off US on a day where typically most people lose money. So yeah, we'll leave that there, boys, and I will see you boys tomorrow, same time, 9:45 AM. Hopefully we can finish off the day green, because we're still actually red on this week. We are, one trade? We are 1 break-even trade, 3 losing trades, and 1 winning trade on the week, actually. But we're only actually down, like, $100. So, thanks to risk management. So, yeah, we'll see if we can recover that for the week tomorrow and Friday. I will see you boys then, 9:45 in the morning.